You know, I really expected to like the Supergirl movie much more than I did. I even went to an early showing in IMAX that my local theater was doing. For context, I really liked the Superman movie we got last year. It was a refreshingly optimistic take on superheroes, as opposed to the dark and gritty stuff we've had shoved down our throats. And well, I wasn't a huge fan of the other DCU stuff. In particular, I really disliked Season 2 of Peacemaker. I was hoping that the lore-centric aspects of the shows would be ditched for the big screen. Which is true. This movie is very self-contained. It doesn't feel like it's setting up for the next big phase of the cinematic universe or anything. But it also, isn't particularly great as a film on its own. In fact, perhaps because it's directed by James Gunn, it feels like it's a wannabe Guardians of the Galaxy clone, and a pretty subpar one at that. Kara has a very punk rock attitude that can be fun to watch in some of the jokey action scenes, particularly because Millie Alcock has a phenomenal performance in the movie, but that's about the end of the positives I can say about it. It's not that it's bad outside of her performance, it's just that I can't really think of anything I particularly liked. The story is a rather generic planet hopper with some time pressure and a MacGuffin we're trying to find. The villain, rather than being Lobo, who was all over the marketing, is just some random nobody I've never heard of. And his gang is called the Raiders, which really isn't beating the generic allegations. The emotional core revolves around this little girl who's trying to get revenge on the Raiders for murdering her family, so they're doing the whole jaded fighter protects the innocent one from corrupting her soul by getting revenge. It's all just very generic. Generic is just the only term that comes to mind for this movie. It feels like it wants to be punk rock, but Superman was much more punk rock than Supergirl is. And obviously it's going for its own separate identity. Kara isn't the bastion of goodness that Clark is, and that's okay. They even have a scene where she talks about the reason that she's different and how she's sort of experienced much more hardship than he has, so she can't really have the same positive attitude as him. But I don't know, even the trauma stuff feels forced, which is wild to say about Supergirl, who is probably the comic character with the most traumatic backstory, at least that I know of, but they kind of dumb it down for screen, they make it a little bit less traumatic. And it honestly feels like it's just going through the motions. Yup, we want to be a Guardians knockoff, so we gotta have trauma, we gotta have her give the middle finger to someone, we gotta have her backtalk people, we gotta have fun action fight scenes and found family, and it's just... I really, really wanted to like this, and I don't. Oh my god. It's not bad. It's not, awful. It's just... If you go in with the attitude that it's just gonna be a fun, cape slop, right? That's the term people use. I don't think it's necessarily cape slop, but it is... It's generic. It's just like an action movie, right? I want some superhero movie. Give me superhero movie. And you'll probably have a fine time. I don't know. The more I think about it, the less I like this movie. One great performance doesn't save the rest of the film, at least not for me. It's fun, though. It's a fun time. It's mid. It's mid. Supergirl, more like super mid. Yeah, that's it. That's the take. Super mid.